What's going on, guys? Jordan here for Prescript.com. We're going to go over a quick progression of rehabbing back into the squat. So you've had hip pain, you've had lower back pain, you've taken some time off squatting. So we're going to reintroduce a progression to get you back with that bar loaded onto the spine. So first step in this progression, it's all going to be about managing your center of gravity. The first step is going to be a counterbalance squat. So we're going to use sort of a counterbalance, any sort of weight you have. We've got a 15-pound plate here. Now what this is going to do, this is going to force us to keep our spine over our pelvis the entire time, allow to get a lot of knee travel, lower down into that bottom position, and then back up. So this will be step one of the progression. Now Jordan's going to show us step number two.
All right, step number two, as we're getting back into that squat, is going to be a goblet squat. We're now taking that counterbalance weight, we're bringing it in closer to our center of gravity. The intent is still going to be the same. We're going to keep those shoulders right above the pelvis. The pelvis is traveling straight down with a neutral spine, but now we're keeping that load right over our center of gravity. So it's going to look just like this.
So in an attempt to move that center of gravity further back towards that back rack position for the barbell squat, we're going to move from, so we went counterbalance, and we went goblet, now we're going to front rack front squat. So we're going to unrack that bar, the shoulders externally rotated, elbows inside the wrist. And what we're going to do, again, try to cue the knees first. Don't have that shearing moment of the low back by sitting back. The whole idea with these front loaded exercises is that it punishes you for getting into that bad position. So a little more intent here on driving those knees forward, opening the hips up at the bottom, then coming out. So making sure we're not sitting back to initiate the squat. Something that'll be less apparent when we load the high bar position next in the progression. So we want to make sure that this intuitive motor pattern of breaking in the knees first carries over into the next progression. So it's going to look something like this. Drive the elbows up.
All right, our next progression into that squat, and for some of this will be our last progression. A lot of my athletes, we stay with the high bar squat, so that's where we're going to be next, and then Jordan will progress you to that low bar. But intent, just like Jordan mentioned in that front squat, is we're loading into the quads, keeping that load in the knees, keeping that pelvis nice and neutral in that lumbar spine as we're initiating that squat. So we're going to push those knees forward, hips travel straight down in our squat as we're keeping that chest nice and upright. All right, so it's going to look something like this.
This will be the last step in the progression as far as getting back to low bar squatting. So I find powerlifters are the ones that suffer from sort of back and hip injuries most from squatting because of the lack of sort of intuitive motor patterns of breaking in the knees first. What a lot of guys do when we get into that low bar back rack position is now they feel really sort of compelled to sit back in the hips first. Now, all our progressions leading into this have prompted breaking in the knees. So I want you to feel comfortable in this low bar position to sort of initiate that descent with the knees first and not to sit back. This is usually the shearing load through the lower back that causes us to get injured in the first place. So now back in this low bar position, we're going to take a big breath in, we're going to tuck that rib cage down, tuck the pelvis underneath, lead with the knees first, then we're going to drop that pelvis straight down, and then to hit depth, we're going to open up through the hips. So again, that's big breath in, tuck rib cage down, kind of neutralize that pelvis, lead to the knees, open up, depth, and back up. So again, knees forward, pelvis straight down, open up in the hips. Take a lot of that shearing force off the lower back. So I want you to reinforce that technique as you move through those progressions to not only get out of pain and get back to the squatting pattern, but to make sure you have proper patterning moving forward as to not get injured again when squatting. So give this a try. Let us know how it goes. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below.